Yes, we can kowtow to enemies, criticize allies, vacillate, bow, dither. Yes, we can, but somebody needs to tell the president just because we can does not mean that we should.
Welcome back to Larry King Live. I'm Jesse Ventura sitting in for Larry tonight. Sarah Palin, you know, she's everywhere this week. You can't go anywhere without seeing her. And, you know, she was in New Orleans, and they always say that's a cattle call for the next presidential nominee. Is Sarah Palin going to be the Republican nomination for president?
Andrea, please say yes.
I don't have a crystal ball. I know you think I'm a genius, Stephanie, but I don't know everything. You know what? I'm not so sure about that. I think the woman is on a track to building a media empire. I think she's focused on other things. I'm not certain that the presidency is top of mind for her. But look, she's out there. She's allowed to have free speech. We still have that in this country, I think, thank God. They haven't taken that away from us yet. And she's organizing communities. And what's wrong with a little community organizing, right? Well, she's rallying. And essentially, the people that she's rallying, this Tea Party movement, is responsible for Bart Stupak resigning today. So I think the group that was called Manufactured Outrage is proving pretty effective.
Congressman Paul, could she be the nomination for the next president for the Republican Party?
Oh, she could be. I don't think it's likely. I'm much more interested myself in pushing the Republican Party into defending what they say they believe in. They claim they believe in individual liberty and personal liberties, but and personal freedoms. But you know, when it comes down the wire and they have to have legislation, you know, they're not very good at it. You know, they endorse the drug war and invasion of privacy and all these things. And government gets bigger. They don't even defend their budgets and spending. So it's totally out of control. So I'm looking for somebody that will stand up and say, you know, what Republicans believe in is personal liberty and limited government across the board, not just when you're out of office or not just in certain areas, but across the board all the time. And that we haven't seen. The Republicans have had a chance, in 1980, 1994, 2000, and every time they get in office, you know, they tend to drift from their beliefs. They tend to act too much like Democrats, and they expand the role of government and the size of government, which I think is unfortunate.
Well, Congressman, you know, they always say balance is the key to the ticket. Could it be a Palin-Paul ticket?
I don't think that will happen. I don't think they're looking for my kind of balance because I think we'd have a disagreement on foreign policy. You know, I'm looking to bring the troops home. The country's totally bankrupt. I know a little bit about history. I know how empires end, and I know how ours is going to end, and it's going to end badly. But it's a bipartisan effort. You know, I'm tired of hearing this bipartisanship, but that's all we have in Washington. Bipartisan supports the war. Obama wants to expand the war, and the Republicans love it. And when there's big spending, yeah, they agree. Well, you spend on this side and this side, and both sides agree to it. So I think we need somebody to stand up and say, you know, we need a new idea. I like the idea of progressives and libertarians and conservative constitutionalists getting together and starting talking about civil liberties and this war issue, because this is bankrupting our country. And I'll tell you, politically, it's much easier to sell spending a little bit less overseas. Why are we building an embassy in London now, over $1 billion? London? Why do we have a fortress there? We have a fortress in Baghdad, a fortress in Kabul. I mean, it makes no sense whatsoever. And I think there can be a coalition. To me, that would be a very good bipartisan coalition, but it would be principled people on the libertarian conservative right and principled people on the progressive left.
Well, I'm a principled person on the progressive left, as Andrea can tell you, Governor. But and I get accused a lot as a woman of being just jealous of Sarah Palin. And let me say, I do want that Stevie Nicks outfit she was wearing the other day. But I don't think she is intellectually or experientially qualified to be president. You were a Navy SEAL. What happens when you quit in the middle of the job?
You don't, or you're not a Navy SEAL.
Thank you.
It's simple. Are Democrats foolish to underestimate her, Rod?
Absolutely, I think they are. Now, I don't disagree with what some of the other guests said, but I think it would be a mistake to underestimate Sarah Palin. But I'd like to say something about what Congressman Paul said. I really believe America is ripe for a political realignment. I think both parties are basically controlled and owned by the big, powerful special interests, the political industrial complex that does business in and around Washington. Congressman Paul knows exactly what I'm talking about. Both parties, you know, basically decide what the solutions are that confront the American people based upon the different special interest groups that descend on Washington. Your success in Minnesota, Jesse, I think had a lot to do with the fact that even in the late 90s, there was a real hunger for some sort of new political way. And I think America, particularly now with the economy being what it is ripe for that. And I think Congressman Paul says it exactly right. Why are we in America in so many faraway places fighting wars in different places when you really have to ask yourself whether or not that's really a vital American interest? And so I think, you know, the right person who speaks on these issues, you know, there's a place for them.
I think I can tell you about the wars. People are making money off the wars, big money off the wars. That's why we fight them now. Is Obama the most radical president in American history? Newt Gingrich thinks so. We'll see what the panel thinks. Stay with us. We'll be right back.